and welcome to Top Rope Reality. We're back again, Justin. I can't believe it.
Week 4. It's
And
the
1
month anniversary.
It is 1 month.
1 month.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary to you.
To you too.
And guess what? We're 1 week closer to WrestleMania
Yes.
30. One of the biggest WrestleManias of all time.
Of course, they say that every year.
Yes,
but
of course. 31 will be bigger than 30, of course.
course.
Yes, we always go in order. But let's get started with the show here. We're going to start off, we're talking a little bit about Raw and...
it's going to be a little bit different this week. We're trying some different things.
Trying a little different things. We're going to have Raw. We'll have the rest of the week on this segment here. We're going to have... and we're going to give the next 8 matches in our big Top Rope Reality March Macho Madness Tournament.
Hashtag it on Twitter.
Hashtag it on Twitter.
Very
So
excited.
we get on started. Raw started off pretty well. Triple H came out and, of course, what's he talking about? Getting rid of the Yes Movement.
Yes,
That is the thing. We're going to get rid of the Yes Movement. We're going to destroy Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're going to get rid of The Rock. It never happens.
Of course not.
But it could this time.
Knowing Triple H's ego, it very well could.
That is true. He said, we're getting rid of it. We are done with it. I'm going to destroy it at WrestleMania. Out came Bautista.
Booed.
And the ratings went down. He said he didn't come back here to be in a triple threat. He came back here to win the title.
I could see his gripe in that situation because that was not the plan the entire time. I could understand that. But nobody wants to see that match.
No, they don't. And here comes Randy Orton, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And he talked about how Bautista was, and he was Mr. Hollywood and all this, and no one wanted to see him.
Right.
But then Bautista come back at Orton and said that he's so born as World Heavyweight Champion, that's why people cheer for Daniel Bryan.
Nice.
And that really pissed Triple H off.
But I do like that the two of them pissed Triple H off.
Oh, they pissed him off. I mean, he was tired. He called Bautista Mr. Hollywood. He's tired of Hollywood people coming in and thinking they know what's better for the business than him.
Nice.
And he's tired of Randy Orton, who's supposed to be a gifted athlete, and he ain't worth crap. And he said there is guaranteed to be a triple threat match.
Huge.
At WrestleMania. He dropped that bomb.
Huge.
Because he says when he beats Daniel Bryan, it'll be him versus Randy Orton versus Bautista.
Exactly.
Which I do not like.
Of course not.
I don't like it.
You don't want evolution.
Is his ego that huge that he thinks, well, people hate Randy Orton Bautista, so they'll love it when I'm in the match?
Well, you've seen the cover for the Scooby-Doo DVD.
Don't bring that up.
He's on the cover with the belt.
Was that something? Was that predicting the future?
It very well may.
That was, I mean, it just come out. We'll get to that. That goes with something else later on in another segment.
But it's interesting that he's got the belt, I'm just saying.
Yes, it is.
With John Cena on the very front, but yeah, he don't have the belt. I would think John Cena would have had the belt. But.
His ego is so huge that he has to have the belt to make ratings. Is this going to help the ratings? No, it's not going to help the ratings. And it's going to, because if they're going to be smart, Daniel Bryan, Triple H would start WrestleMania. Start WrestleMania with a huge
match.
With
a bang. Start with Daniel Bryan, end it with Daniel Bryan. That's the only way WrestleMania works.
If you start it with Daniel Bryan and end it with Triple H, after that match,
everybody's going to boo everything.
And I hope they don't sell beer bottles.
Yeah, they're going to be
because they will be thrown into the ring.
They will be.
WrestleMania, it'll be WrestleMania Riot.
It will be the greatest WrestleMania because no one will ever forget that.
Yes. And I don't think this man can afford to give that much money back to the fans.
But I do love that they both called out Triple H, saying that neither one of them thought Triple H could beat Daniel Bryan. I thought that was the best part.
Yeah, they said that he's gotten into his head.
Right.
So, which I think he has after what he did at the end of the show. Well, the real Americans defeated the Usos, non-title.
Non-title, so that makes them contenders. So
that should make them contenders.
It should,
but
we'll see what happens
on SmackDown. No, I'm with Zeb on that. I mean, you beat the tag team champions, but then you're in a fatal 4-way for the number one contendership. What?
Strange.
Who's writing this crap?
Not Zeb Coulter, that's for sure.
No. And Kane was backstage with the Shield, getting on to them about what happened on SmackDown. But they said they were united and everything.
United against Kane, but...
Yes, but he told them they were replaceable.
Nice.
He told them they were replaceable.
They're replaceable by, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes. It's not who you think.
No.
But they are leading that way to a 6-man tag match. So
Yes.
we are getting that way. John Cena talked about Bray Wyatt, saying he's afraid of Bray Wyatt. He's afraid. I'm afraid of Bray. Oh, that's kind of like Paul Bearer.
It was. That's kind of scary.
Okay, John Cena saw that. You can't see me, Bray Wyatt. I'm not scared of you. Just don't take my legacy. His legacy.
His legacy. Yeah, his legacy's already been cemented. He don't have to worry about losing.
When they mentioned legacy and him protecting his legacy and made a video and a song with it, John Cena's not losing to Bray Wyatt. He will beat Bray Wyatt. He'll beat Luke Harper, and he'll beat Eric Rowan. And he'll beat anybody else who comes down to the ring.
I mean, hey, if they change the match to a 3-on-1 handicap match, he'll beat all three of them at one time.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And it's sad. It really is.
Oh, it's very sad. Also, for earlier, we forgot about that. Randy Orton wanted a no DQ match with Daniel Bryan. Of course, Triple H was glad to give him that match.
Of course, because he pissed him off.
Of course, Daniel Bryan beat Randy Orton again, only after Batista come back. After he said he's gone, he's tired of this place. He don't know why he come back. He come back and speared Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan got the win.
But then Bryan doing a running kick on Batista. Either way, this whole segment makes Daniel Bryan look even better because Batista ended up hitting the Batista
Which is never
bomb
good, because the person underdog should be...
Exactly.
I know they beat him, I know, but...
the person that is the underdog and should be winning WrestleMania should be the one to get beat down all the way too.
Well, hold on. We had Paul Heyman. It's mostly Paul Heyman now, and The Undertaker more than Undertaker and Lesnar. Yeah. Except on Raw that's coming up. But, again...
Because you can't do a lot with Lesnar because he can't talk about things. He's not good with the promos.
No, but Heyman made a good point. He showed a video saying that the last, not counting Punk...
Of course, can't talk about him.
You not know, Punk doesn't
anymore.
exist anymore.
He's the new Benoit.
Yes, he is.
Can't talk about him except for he didn't kill nobody. But still, he hurt his legacy.
They showed a video where he talked about Undertaker having trouble with barely beating HBK and Hunter.
Beating Hunter, yes.
But then they switched the video of Brock Lesnar destroying HBK and Hunter, and he said that he will end the streak of the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
He has a point there. Obviously, Brock's not going to win, but that is a good video that they did show. I mean, that is a good point.
Well, they want to just piss everybody off. Want to just beat Bryan, beat the Undertaker's streak.
Hey,
want to Electric H win the title.
This would be the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
Here's something else too. Stephanie adds herself to the Divas title. She beats AJ.
There you go.
In a lose or leave match.
There you go.
Let's just have
AJ's going to leave when the contract's up.
Let's have Stephanie with the Divas title, Hunter with the World title, WWE World title, the end WrestleMania,
and Brock Lesnar beaten
and the streak gone.
Yeah.
And no Sting. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Let's see how well that would go over.
Well, Kane come back out. And
Kane's all over this.
Kane was out. Yes, he was out. He was out a lot. He was talking about Occupy Raw again, but he blamed Jerry Lawler. He said all the fans got in the ring because they were in Memphis. Jerry Lawler pulled some strings to get all those fans in there. So he blamed Jerry Lawler, and he wanted Jerry Lawler to get in the ring and serve his punishment.
Interesting way to go with that.
Yes.
I guess because they've been in
and Jerry didn't move, so the Shield came out.
Of course.
They helped
they're not going to let
Jerry into the ring. They helped Jerry into the ring. Well, wait. It was Shield members looking at Jerry Lawler. Kane was getting ready to dish out some hard punishment.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shield turned
on Kane.
And turned on Kane.
Exactly. Because number one...
beat Kane down and gave him the triple powerbomb.
Number one, Vince would not allow Jerry Lawler to get beat up anymore. He's not going to...
I don't think
he is not going to risk a heart attack.
Yeah, but he wrestles other places.
But that's not on national television.
Don't care. You can still die.
I'm sorry, but if he was to die, he was having a heart attack and die on national television, Vince McMahon would be blamed for it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So he's
we had Naomi, who was with Cameron at the Funkadactyls. That right? Yes.
Funkadactyls. That is true.
I know they need to change that since Brodus Clay is gone. They need to change that up.
They're not even dancing with Xavier Woods anymore because he's never on the show.
In all truth, yes, I know.
Sad.
Well, Naomi pinned AJ, so that makes Naomi, Natalya, anybody else?
Nikki.
And Nikki. That makes 3 so far.
3 of the Total Divas have pinned AJ Lee going into WrestleMania.
But this time, Tamina. AJ blamed Tamina, and Tamina shoved her down, and they had a big stare off.
So is Tamina going to be added into this?
She could be, but that only.
That'd be 5.
That'd be 5 girls and AJ, right? Nope.
No, that'd be 4 and AJ.
Well, they need one more. How about Karma? How about Karma return? She lost enough weight.
Yeah, let's see what happens with that.
And then in the end, Triple H, during the show, Triple H said he wanted to go and face Daniel Bryan.
Very interesting that the women's was the actual main event match.
Well, it really wasn't.
I mean,
Bray Wyatt was.
Oh, Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt beating up Kofi, but that was just that. It was nothing major about him just beating up Kofi.
Gotcha.
Who hasn't beat up Kofi?
True. That's why we're not really going over that, because who cares?
So, the real main event was Triple H.
Of course.
He said he wanted to talk to Daniel face to face. He said he dumped all the crap on Daniel, where other people would take their ball and go home. I don't know who that was pointed to.
Ah.
Could be, I don't know, somebody named Phil Brooks, but I'm not sure. But yes, he said, and other people would have took their ball and went home, but he just kept coming back. He respected him for that, and he wanted to shake his hand.
Right.
But Daniel Bryan said, "Shake your hand." And he says, "If I was you, I wouldn't shake my hand either." Then Stephanie come out with a bunch of cops, and it said arrest Daniel Bryan for Occupy Raw, which they did. They put his handcuffs on him, and we found out that the police were not real police.
Not real. They were actually from Booker T's Reality of Wrestling promotion.
Wow.
Interesting.
Hey, spread the bugs around.
There you go. Put some paychecks out there.
And Triple H went after Daniel Bryan was handcuffed. Triple H went to town on beating him around the ring.
But it was very interesting the way he did that, because Triple H made it sound like he was totally against what Stephanie was doing.
Oh, of course.
He didn't agree with it.
Until he made that little smirk.
Until he made all the police leave and say, you weren't even real police anyway. And then he said, I want to do this myself. Oh, I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. I did, too.
He destroyed Daniel Bryan.
But Daniel will be back on Raw this Monday.
Of course, they don't sell injuries very long anymore.
Not anymore, they don't.
Except for when Brock Lesnar destroys somebody like Mark Henry, they're gone for like 2 months.
Who's Mark Henry, though? He won't be missed. But Daniel Bryan could miss one Raw. I mean, come back. He should have been off this Monday and showed up on the Go Home show.
Right.
That's what. But hey, I'm not writing the show.
Right.
So they got them Hollywood actors and Hollywood writers and Hollywood whatever commercial writers to do the show. So, but yeah, he beat Daniel Bryan. He tried to drown him in a cooler at ringside. He ripped his shirt off. He threw him in there. He threw him on the table.
They're claiming he had a shoulder injury also.
Well, those weren't the normal handcuffs you see. Right. You know, usually you got the ones that you can put your arms on both sides. Those he was close up. He was bending up. So, but I still think it's a big rip.
Of course.
I mean, they so.
Of course.
And then he hit him. He did a concerto with Daniel Bryan's head against the ring post.
I thought that was interesting. You know, no chair shots to the head, but you know it hit the steel post, obviously.
Of course, yeah, it's Triple H.
But it was an interesting spot.
Too.
It was a good spot, though. I thought it was good.
Well, he's got to.
He's got to look good going into WrestleMania.
He's the King of Kings.
Of course. The cerebral assassin.
And then he hit the pedigree, and him and Stephanie stood over Daniel Bryan for Raw to end, which was a very good Raw. The ratings-wise, it was not very good.
No, but that leads us straight into this week's Wrestlers of the Week.
Yes.
And there is a tie for the Wrestler of the Week. It will be Daniel Bryan and Triple H for that ending segment. I mean, it was great.
Yes,
it was great.
Yes.
And of course, Daniel Bryan beating Randy Orton, that helps too. But, I mean, basically, it was more or less that main event segment. I mean, they made it look great.
Shawn Hunter looked like he I know he wants to be the cerebral assassin, but he seemed more like a desperate man.
Yes, I mean when you were talking to me about that before, I enjoyed the way you kind of looked at it. He's a desperate man looking for desperate measures. He's older now and he's scared. He seems like, and of course it's a storyline, but still the way he's looking at it is he's nervous about having to face Daniel Bryan. That's why he went to those desperate measures.
And the woman was Naomi. For coming back with her patch on, which I guess is her new look.
Yes.
Coming back, patch on.
That's a storyline. That's a storyline for the Total Divas show.
From here on out now, she'll be Apache.
Yes.
So. Well, up next is our top 10 countdown for this past week.
And this is very controversial.
Backstabbers.
Very controversial.
Backstabbers.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yes.
How many times have we had backstabbers in the world of wrestling?
Every time. A lot.
Now,
every promotion.
I like what the 10 were. I did not like
their placement.
The order.
Yeah, the placement was horrible.
I did not like the order. And coming in number 10 was $1 Canadian. That's when Y2J and Christian had a bet of $1 Canadian on who could score with Lita. If Christian could score with Lita before Jericho could score with Trish.
Yes.
And when Trish found out, she turned her back on Jericho and went with Christian at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 20?
It may have been WrestleMania 20.
No. 21. 21.
21. You sure?
21.
You're not sure.
It's 21.
Sure.
Look it up.
Yeah, look it up. He
Look
said
it
21. Number
Tell,
9.
Hey, put it on Twitter and Facebook. Tell me I'm wrong. Next.
I say you're wrong.
It's 21. Next.
21. They didn't go Holly. Was that Hollywood was 21?
Yeah, because 20 was where it all began again. 21 was Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Then what's 30 going to be?
I don't know where it begins again. I don't know.
Yes.
Number
That's one thing
9.
we need to talk about is we need to look at the WrestleMania 10, WrestleMania 20, and then look at the card of WrestleMania 30 and compare them.
Yeah.
Because, number 9
and
was the
worse.
Heartbreak, where Owen Hart, tired of being in his brother's shadow,
Yes.
turned on Bret Hart. And I was true. I mean, it was always Bret. Owen was waiting here.
And
Bret was up here, and Owen's down here.
Right, of course. Here we go with the controversial ones. This is throwing in the towel on this.
Number 8 was a giant backstab where Andre the Giant turned on Hulk Hogan. That is very high on this list. It should be more toward 1.
It should be either 1 or 2, honestly, because, I mean, WrestleMania 3. I mean, the biggest WrestleMania of all
Yes.
time. How is that not?
Friends for years.
Gosh.
And when Bobby Heenan got in the ear of Andre the Giant, he turned and pulled the cross off of Hulk Hogan.
Money talks. Money talks.
Money talks, yes.
Exactly.
We know what walks. Number 7 was Sergeant Turncoat,
Thought that would have been better.
where Sergeant Slaughter turned
Turned
against
on
the USA G.I. Joe himself.
Yes.
Mr. G.I. Joe.
Sad.
But he got a world title out of it.
He did.
He
He
did.
got a huge push out of that.
He also lost to Hulk Hogan, so.
Yes. I do like this next one. I do like the next
Number 6 was Thumbs Down. We all remember this.
one.
Randy Orton becoming the youngest World Heavyweight Champion when he beat somebody. We're not going to mention who it is.
Can't talk about him.
Wasn't it Chris Benoit?
He was, actually.
Okay. Yes. And Triple H. Ego again. I can't have this guy who's younger than me, who's a better wrestler than me, become World Heavyweight Champion when I'm nothing.
Exactly.
So when he was on the shoulders of Batista,
Batista.
he got this,
And then he
got
turned it
this. And down he went, and then his awful face turn for Randy Orton began for Randy Orton until he
That was too early for him to be
turn
a
back
face.
heel,
Too early.
back face, heel again, face, heel, face.
Too early to be a face at that point in his career.
He'll probably be face again for the years out.
Probably. He's horrible as a face.
He is. People hate him as a face. Number 5 was As the Urn Turns. This is when Paul Bearer turned his back on The Undertaker and went with Mankind.
Love that feud. Love it.
And you know what? Why don't they have any more boiler room brawls?
Boiler room brawls. And
Why don't
that's,
they have any of those anymore? It ain't nothing about blood. I understand. No more first blood
you don't have
matches.
to have blood in that.
But why don't they have those anymore?
I'm just shocked you're a fan of that because Mankind was in it. It's Mick Foley.
Mankind. Mick Foley.
Oh, it's two different. Oh, the 3 faces of Foley you're okay with.
No, I'm not.
2 faces of Foley you're okay with.
Yes, Cactus Jack, Mankind. Dude Love
can go somewhere else. Yeah, I hear you.
Mick Foley. Yeah.
So at least he's a fan of 2 out of the 4.
Number 4 was A Twist of Fate. That's when Matt Hardy turned against his brother Jeff Hardy.
I think
Jeff was up here, Matt was down here. And that's when he couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand for his brother to be better, to be a champion while he was nothing.
How can that be better than Owen and Brett?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I told you the list. Just because I'm reading them off this way,
horrible.
the placement sucks. Whoever put this in order does not know what they're talking about.
Sad.
So let's go to number 3, the day Hulkamania died. Now that should be down here. That was the day Hulk Hogan turned on all the Hulkamaniacs. All the
That
little
was
kids
huge.
were crying in their eyes out, "Why, Hulk Hogan? Why did you turn on us and join the NWO?" Because it's something fresh. Hey, John Cena!
There you go. Fresh and new. But I do agree with that in that placement.
Yes. Number 2 is the Montreal Screwjob, where Vince McMahon turned on Bret Hart.
I agree with where that's at.
Yeah, I like where this one is, but hey, I don't blame Vince.
No.
After
a lunch of breaks
thank you.
did it.
But that's just a woman's title, so who cares?
I mean, hey, it pissed him off.
But,
She still had to
dude,
come back to the company. She ain't going to the Hall of Fame.
Never. But you don't want to take you don't want to take the chance of your champion showing up on your rival company with your title.
Here's the thing: if you know that Flair would have done it to WCW going to WWE, then hey, obviously Brett could have easily done it going to WCW. I mean, it is the pot called the kettle black. He was fine with Rick bringing the title with him. But
I mean, there's other ways around it, too. You could always have Briscoe or Patterson, somebody out there, as soon as Brett's beat Shawn, they snatch the belt and they go with the belt. He doesn't have the belt.
That's right.
I mean, they could have done that way, and he could have went out a winner.
Yep.
But, I mean...
Number one
the Montreal Screwjob could have been a big rip on the fans anyway.
That's true. That's true.
And number one...
It sucks.
Has everybody's favorite, Shawn Michaels, in it.
No.
The kick heard around the world, where Marty Jannetty got kicked by Shawn Michaels and thrown through the plate glass window of the barbershop.
That's right. That is horrible.
That should not be number one.
I believe that the giant backstab and the kick heard around the world should be swapped around. They should have been swapped around. That's
I think
right.
I think the Sergeant Slaughter one should be below 5.
Yeah.
And the Hardy Boys should be up. I mean, because that feud did not end very well.
They didn't even go that great.
No, it could have been better. It wasn't better. Now they went. What main thing they went with was Sunny. She was the Diva Gold Diva.
This was the extra.
She was
10.
yes. And I didn't watching it back then. I didn't pay much attention, but when they showed it to you, every time she was with the tag team champions, when they lost, she left.
Diva Gold Digger.
Diva Gold Digger Sunny.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
It is. It's very funny.
They don't have divas doing that no more because they don't have divas with the champions anymore.
They don't have managers. That's another story for another day. For some damn reason, they don't want to have managers, which I don't understand. Why not?
Strange.
Mouthpieces, people. If your wrestler can't talk, have a manager for
There'd
it.
be a lot of successful wrestlers right now if they could have a mouthpiece.
Yes.
That's true.
Well, let's get on to our Top Rope Reality March Macho Madness next set of matches.
Hashtag it on Twitter.
Yes. Let's start off with the WCW bracket.
I'm excited about this.
We have Ric Flair taking on the immortal Hulk Hogan.
He said it was going to get harder as we went, and it's true.
Oh, it's getting harder. It's getting
harder.
Oh, well,
I myself I'm a fan of one, not a fan of the other. I guess you could guess which way I'm going, but
I'm a fan of both. I like one more than the other. I have to say Hogan.
See, I was going Hogan too. Which one are you a bigger fan of?
I'm a bigger fan of Flair.
Okay, see? Now we do agree on that. I'm a bigger fan of Flair.
Yeah, but I think Hogan
But Hogan should win that.
So it's going to be Hogan.
It's going to be Hogan on
Next
that one.
up is CM Punk taking on The Undertaker. We know what happened at WrestleMania, and I believe it would happen either way. I believe.
I'm a fan of both of them, and I'm actually a bigger fan of CM Punk.
Yes.
Sadly to say.
But we'll say it's going to be Undertaker.
Undertaker's winning that one.
Mr. Perfect taking on Booker T. I believe Perfect. I'm going with Perfect.
You're going with Perfect?
Yes.
I could see that.
You're perfect?
I'm going. Well, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect.
No, you're definitely not.
And
then we got Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero taking on, yes, Daniel Bryan.
Interesting lineup there.
It is an interesting lineup here.
I'm a huge fan of both.
I am too. I am a Daniel Bryan fan, and I may be swaying that way. I liked Eddie too, but my pick is Daniel.
I see. That's where I was going.
Okay, well that takes care of the WCW bracket.
It was hard, but it wasn't that hard to compromise because I was pretty split on the Eddie and Daniel Bryan.
Okay, in our WWE bracket, we have Sting versus John Cena. You can see me, Sting. And speaking of Sting, happy late birthday, Sting.
Yes.
A big 55. So you get your ass in the WWE, because time is running out, 55-year-old man.
That's right. You ain't got many more years to go.
I want to see 60 and 55, 60 and 60-year-old men wrestling at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't want him to
go.
I don't want him to be 60 and get into the WWE. I want him to be 55, and that'll be fine. But I think he'd be the oldest man ever to be signed to the WWE.
Other than Vince McMahon.
Well, I'm saying signed this late in his career.
Yes.
You know, as a first-time signee, nobody's ever been signed at 55. But this was difficult because they're both kind of a smaller version of a Hulk Hogan. They're both kind of like, you beat me down and I come back up.
And
they're both that way.
Look at this here. Flair Hogan, Sting John Cena.
Yeah.
It's
interesting. Two of the biggest names of the WWE, two of the biggest names of WCW. Interesting.
It is. I think it's going to be John Cena then.
Oh boy. See, I was going to go with Sting, so now we got to figure that one out.
We'll come back to it.
All right.
Next up, Steve Austin taking on Kurt Angle.
Austin.
Austin.
I love Kurt Angle. He's a great athlete.
But Austin would take
Austin
it.
would
Just
take
like
it.
John Cena would beat Sting.
Yeah.
Randy Savage taking on Bret Hart.
Ooh, boy, I'm going with Savage.
I believe Savage would. I mean, Bret is the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. But I believe it will be Savage.
And this one's pretty easy.
Edge taking on Andre the Giant.
Andre's winning that one.
I'm sorry, yeah. Even the spear, he just bounced off Andre.
Yeah.
Now back to John Cena.
Edge can beat Big Show, but he can't beat Andre.
John Cena over Sting.
I'd say Sting.
I
We're
say
split.
John Cena.
Okay, well I see where the bracket's going, so I think I'm gonna be happy going forward. So I'll compromise and go with John Cena.
You still want to say Sting?
I do want to
You
say
want
Sting.
Sting,
The
don't you?
S is trying to come out. I'll go with John Cena. I was kind of hoping the bracket would go a different way, but let's go John Cena.
We're going John Cena? No, you kind of talk me into Sting now.
You should be talked into Sting.
Why? He's 55 years old. He wouldn't beat John Cena. No one beats John Cena.
Okay, but you can't sit there and say his age now because we looked at Eddie Guerrero, a dead man versus...
Lost.
But I understand that. But we're not looking at him as a dead person. We're looking at him as his prime. We got to look at these people at their prime. Andre the Giant's dead, but he just beat Edge.
He wouldn't have beat Edge when he got older.
I understand that, but we're looking at their prime. I'm saying Sting in his
So
prime.
is that good guy Sting versus bad guy Cena?
It could have been. If that, either way.
If that's the case, then Sting wins because no bad guy ever wins anything. So.
Exactly. I still think Sting, but we'll go with your pick.
That's very nice of you.
I'm trying to be nice today.
Well, that takes care of this week. So next week, our big WrestleMania week, we'll have the next round, and we'll let you vote on the finals.
We'll give you the finals, and then you get to vote on it, put it on Twitter, put it on Facebook.
Well, I believe that's it.
That is it for part one. It
I'll
is.
just run over my lines
I'll
there.
run over your lines because that's it for part one.
You take us out.
All right. Don't forget to add us on Facebook, Mike Hogan, Justin Carter. And also don't forget to find us on Twitter at Top Rope Reality. And of course, in the next part, we will be going over My Time to Retire, part 4, the final Time to Retire.
You got to think of something new now.
I do. I got some
time.
stuff under their sleeve right here. I got some stuff.
Because next week I said mostly it's going to be WrestleMania.
It is. So we will see you on part 2 in just a moment.